I never really liked hosting. My wife, Anna, was always the social one, the kind of person who could smile through anything, make a burnt casserole seem gourmet, and hug someone she hated without flinching. But when it came to her family's annual reunion, she turned into something else entirely. Obsessive, controlling, almost frantic. This year was our turn to host. Our house, our food, our backyard. I didn't mind the effort. What bothered me was how tense Anna had been all week. Jumpy, like she was waiting for a call that never came. She barely slept. Snapped at me for using the wrong wine glasses. Spent hours on the phone whispering in her native Russian, which she almost never used unless she was speaking to her mother. The morning of the reunion, she kissed me a little too hard and said, "Please don't go into the garage today. I'll get everything we need." I laughed it off. I figured she was hiding some tacky gift for her dad again. She had a history of over-the-top surprises. But by afternoon, things were falling apart. Her uncle showed up 2 hours early. Her cousin's toddler clogged our toilet with a toy submarine. And when Anna realized we were short 3 bottles of red wine, she locked herself in the bathroom, muttering, "I told you I'd handle it." So I did what any reasonable husband would do. I ignored her weird demand and headed out to the garage. That's when everything changed. I flipped on the light and froze. There was a man standing near the shelves, staring straight at me. Tall, pale, unshaven, dressed in an old military-style coat that looked like it hadn't been washed in years. He was holding a wine bottle and a knife. My heart stopped. Literally stopped. I couldn't speak. But he did. "Don't scream," he said, calm as stone. "She told me you'd come eventually." I couldn't breathe. My first instinct was to run. But something about him, something terrifying, made me stay. "I don't want to hurt you," he added. "I just want to talk to Anna." And that's when it clicked. The face. The eyes. The faded tattoo on his left wrist. I'd seen him before. In a photo Anna kept locked away in a jewelry box. A photo I once asked about, and she said, "That's my first husband. He died. Car crash in Moscow. Long ago." This man was supposed to be dead. But here he was, in my garage, holding a knife. I backed up slowly. "I'm calling the police," I whispered. "Please don't," he said. "You don't know what she did." That sentence slammed into me like a truck. Because I'd heard my wife say something eerily similar just last week, after waking from a nightmare. She sat up in bed, drenched in sweat, and muttered in Russian, "He'll come back, and he'll tell them everything." At the time, I assumed it was about her father, or some stupid family fight. But now I wasn't so sure. I managed to slip back into the house without him following me. My hands were shaking as I dialed Anna's number. She didn't pick up. I tried again. Nothing. I walked back into the living room where her entire extended family was laughing, eating, drinking wine, and there she was, smiling, pouring sangria, acting like she wasn't hiding a living ghost in our garage. When our eyes met, I must have looked pale because she dropped the pitcher. Then she mouthed one word. "No." The moment she mouthed no, it was like the air between us turned solid. She pushed through the crowd of relatives, muttering apologies, and grabbed my arm so hard it hurt. Her nails dug in. "Upstairs. Now," she hissed through clenched teeth. I followed her, numb. My legs were moving, but my brain couldn't catch up. Her laughter from just seconds ago still echoed below us as if we'd left a different world entirely. As soon as the bedroom door shut, she locked it and leaned against it, panting. "You went into the garage," she said, like it was the worst betrayal in the world. "Who is he?" I asked. "And why is he in our house?" She slid to the floor, pulled her knees to her chest, and whispered, "You weren't supposed to see him. Not like this. Anna, he's supposed to be dead." She looked up. "I know." I stared at her in disbelief. "So he faked his death? You helped him? Or what? Was it a lie all along?" She shook her head. "No, he really did die. At least I thought he did. I saw the body." "What the hell are you talking about?" She didn't answer. Instead, she reached under the bed and pulled out a small box. The one she always kept locked. She opened it without hesitation this time. Inside were letters. Dozens of them. All addressed to her in that same sharp, military-style handwriting. All unopened. She handed me one. I read the first line. "You left me in the river, Anna. But I survived. And I remember everything." My blood ran cold. "I thought it was a sick joke at first," she said. "The first letter arrived 2 years ago. I didn't tell you because I was afraid you'd leave me." "Tell me what exactly?" She looked me in the eye, and for the first time since I met her, she looked like someone I didn't know. My first marriage wasn't what I told you. Dmitri wasn't some tragic love story. He was abusive, controlling, a monster. I felt dizzy. We were only married 2 years. He never let me leave the house. Monitored my phone, my emails. He made me quit school. One night, he beat me so badly I couldn't see out of my left eye for days. I reported it. But his brother worked for the police. Nothing happened. Instead, they came to warn me. And the accident? She gave a bitter laugh. That was no accident. I pushed the car off the bridge myself. With him in it. I thought he was dead. The papers said he was. They buried someone. But now I don't know if it was him or not. I stepped back. I didn't recognize her. Or myself. My mouth was dry. You killed him. I didn't plan it, she said quickly. I was scared. He had locked me in the trunk. He was drunk. We were parked near the river. I found a wrench, undid the brake, and it just rolled. I ran. I wanted to scream, or laugh, or cry. But all I could do was whisper. And now he's back. She nodded. He's been sending me letters. Threatening me. Saying he wants to destroy everything I've built. He said he'd wait until the family reunion. That's why I begged you not to go into the garage. I thought I could handle it. You invited him? No. God, no. I never answered him. I thought if I just ignored him. You thought he'd go away? Anna, he's in our house. With a knife. I think he wants me to suffer first. Not just die. A silence fell between us. And then I asked something I wasn't sure I wanted the answer to. Is he dangerous? She didn't answer right away. She just whispered, he's patient. That's what scares me most. I sat down on the edge of the bed. My hands were trembling. There were a dozen people downstairs. Children. Her elderly father. And a man with a vendetta was standing between the wine rack and the lawn chairs. I stood up. We have to get him out of the house. Quietly. Before someone gets hurt. She didn't look relieved. She looked terrified. You don't understand, she whispered. If you try to stop him, he'll make everything worse. He's always 3 steps ahead. I walked to the door, ready to do something, anything. And then she said something that stopped me cold. He told me you'd never believe me. I didn't sleep that night. Not after hearing everything Anna told me. Not with the letters laid out on the floor between us like puzzle pieces soaked in gasoline. And especially not with her dead husband somewhere inside. Or maybe outside. Our home. We didn't call the police. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. But Anna begged me not to. She said if they came and questioned the family, it would blow everything up. Make Dmitri disappear again. Maybe come back, even angrier. She swore that if we just waited, he'd slip up. Reveal what he really wanted. But I didn't trust him. And now, for the first time, I wasn't sure I trusted her either. By morning, the reunion had shifted into hangover mode. Empty bottles. Unwashed dishes. People crashing on couches and lawn chairs. I couldn't stop watching everyone's movements, wondering if Dmitri had blended in. Maybe clean-shaven, maybe using a fake name. Was he among them? Or had he left? I went back to the garage first thing. It was empty. Nothing left behind except a half-drunk bottle of wine and a single boot print in the dust. I asked Anna to call her sister and cancel the brunch. She refused. If I act weird, they'll notice. He'll notice. You're not seriously thinking of waiting this out. I don't know what I'm thinking anymore, she said. I started looking through the letters myself. All of them postmarked from different cities. All of them obsessive. He talked about their marriage like it was something sacred. He blamed her for breaking the vow, for leaving him to rot. He talked about punishing her by taking away what she rebuilt. And in one of the more recent letters, he mentioned me. By name. Does your new husband know the truth, Anna? Does he know what you really are? I wonder if he'll still love you when he finds out about the river. Or the blood. I had to leave the room. It wasn't just the threat. It was that nagging doubt clawing at my brain. What if this man wasn't the only liar? I started asking Anna questions she didn't like. How sure are you it was him you saw die? Did anyone else confirm it? What did you tell the police after the crash? I told them I was a witness, she said quietly. That I saw a car fall into the river. I never said I knew the driver. That detail hit me like a slap. So you never actually reported him missing. I thought it was cleaner that way. I didn't respond. I couldn't. The room was spinning. Her cleaner version of events was starting to look more like a cover-up. She grabbed my hands, her voice cracking. I'm not a murderer. Then tell me the truth. All of it. Right now. Her eyes welled up. You think I haven't asked myself the same thing for 10 years? Whether I pushed too hard, whether I could have done something different. I tried everything. Talking to him, running, getting help. No one would stop him. He owned people. He always got away with it. She took a breath. The night I let that car roll, it wasn't about revenge. It was survival. That was when I heard a voice downstairs. A man's voice. Hey there. Sorry, didn't mean to wake the whole house. Just here to drop something off. We both froze. Anna bolted to the window, pulled back the curtain just an inch. It's him, she whispered. He shaved, changed clothes. But it's him. I rushed down the stairs, heart racing. He was standing just inside the front door, holding a grocery bag full of something. Maybe wine, maybe worse. Smiling like a guy who got invited. Morning, he said, chipper as hell. You must be the husband. He extended his hand. I didn't shake it. Anna came down behind me, pale as a ghost. Dmitri looked at her like he was seeing a lover after years apart. Still beautiful, he said. I stepped in front of her. You need to leave. He smiled wider. I will. Soon. Just wanted to drop off a gift for the family. I've been watching. You've done well, Anna. He held out the bag. Inside were 3 things. A bottle of red wine, a framed photo of Anna and me, taken last summer, and a small, carved wooden box with her initials burned into the top. Thought you might want your old keepsakes back, he said softly. Anna stepped forward. Her voice was low, deadly. If you ever come near me again, I will finish what I started. He smiled like she'd just flirted. Then he turned and walked out the door like it was a regular Sunday visit. And that's when I realized. He wanted us to be afraid. This wasn't over. Not even close. That night, I couldn't sleep again. Not just because Dmitri had walked into our house like it belonged to him. Not because of the way he looked at Anna like she was still his property. But because of the calmness in his voice, like everything was going according to plan. Like we were playing a game he'd already won. I wanted to believe Anna. Desperately. But I was starting to feel like a guest in my own life. Nothing added up. If he was so dangerous, why hadn't she told me sooner? Why wait until he was inside our house? The next morning, I checked the garage again. This time, I found something. Behind the water heater, shoved into an old cardboard box, was a phone. Burnt around the edges, screen cracked, battery hanging on by a wire. And next to it, a man's wallet. Russian ID. The photo looked familiar. Dmitri. Except the ID was fake. I googled the number on the back. Nothing. But the address was real. About 2 hours from us. I didn't tell Anna. I needed to see it for myself. I told her I had to go into work for a few hours, and she barely looked up. She was staring at one of the letters, reading it like it contained a secret code. I drove fast. The neighborhood was rural, remote, gravel roads and sagging porches. I found the address, a gray shack near the edge of a dried-out cornfield. Empty. No car. No lights. But inside, photos. So many photos. All of me and Anna. Taken from outside windows. At the park. Her walking the dog. Me mowing the lawn. Dozens of them. Pinned to the wall like some kind of grotesque gallery. In the corner of the room was a desk with one thing sitting on it. A copy of our wedding invitation. I backed out slowly, adrenaline flooding my chest. I called the police. They came. Took everything. Promised to look into him. But they couldn't arrest a man for owning creepy photos. They needed a threat or violence. The fact that he had faked his death a decade ago didn't even register, because, legally, no one had ever declared him dead. No record. No case. He'd erased himself on purpose. I came home and told Anna everything. She didn't react. Just nodded. He's getting braver. That means he's getting sloppy. What does he want? She finally looked at me. He wants to humiliate me. Take away the life I built. Maybe kill me. Maybe not. He likes the game more than the end. And what about me? I asked. What does he want with me? She paused. You're part of the punishment. That stung more than I wanted to admit. She pulled out her phone and showed me something she hadn't before. Voicemails. Dozens. All from unknown numbers. All in Russian. All from Dmitri. In one, he said, "You chose another man. I'll make sure he dies loving a woman who never existed." Another, "You always said you'd rather die than be mine again. So maybe I'll make you prove it." And one that chilled me to my core. "I've met your husband. He doesn't ask enough questions. He trusts too easily. I'll enjoy showing him who you really are." I had to sit down. That's when Anna took a deep breath and said something I didn't expect. "I need to end this. But I can't do it alone." I looked at her. "What are you saying? We have to trap him. Make him confess." Make it public. Record everything. That's dangerous. She nodded. So was marrying him. I hated the plan. Every part of me wanted to run, to leave this mess behind. But I couldn't. Because despite everything, the lies, the secrets, the fear, I still loved her. And a small, reckless part of me still believed she was telling the truth. So I said yes. We were going to invite him back. And we were going to catch a ghost. We planned everything over the course of 3 days. Every movement, every sentence, every possible reaction he might have. Anna was eerily calm, like some switch had flipped. I wasn't sure if she was scared stiff or just done being scared at all. She was the one who set the trap. I was the one constantly doubting whether it would actually work. We staged it at our place, again. The same location he had already infiltrated. It made sense. Familiar terrain. Comfortable to him. Our cover was simple. Anna would send him a message from a burner phone. She'd say she was ready to talk privately. That she was done running. That she wanted to say goodbye on her own terms. The bait? Her wedding ring. She'd take it off. Put it in the carved wooden box he gave her. Make it look like a final surrender. We mounted 2 cameras. One in a floor lamp behind the couch, and another inside a decorative vase on the bookshelf. Both were disguised well. The audio was patched into my phone live. I'd be listening from the neighbor's basement. She insisted I not be in the house. It has to be just me and him, she said. Otherwise, he'll smell it. I hated it. But I agreed. The night he was supposed to come, I kissed her forehead in the doorway. She didn't cry. She just said, "No matter what you hear, don't come in unless I say the word river." Got it. River, I repeated, like a password. Only if I say it. She shut the door behind me. At 9:14 p.m. Dmitri arrived. He didn't knock. Just walked in, like before. I watched through the shaky phone feed as he closed the door behind him. He wore all black this time. His face was clean, too clean. He looked more like a man going on a date than a stalker confronting his ex-wife. "I knew you'd come around," he said. Anna stood near the dining table, arms crossed. "I didn't come around. I came to end this. You always were dramatic." She motioned toward the box on the table. "There. That's yours. It's over. You win." He walked over, opened it, smiled at the ring inside. "Not quite," he said, pocketing it. "You think I came for that? Then what do you want?" He walked around the room slowly, dragging his fingers across the back of the couch. Like he owned the place. "I want you to tell the truth," he said. "About what you did. About how you ruined me." "You ruined yourself." He chuckled. "You tried to kill me." Anna's voice didn't waver. "Yes, I did. And I'd do it again." That froze him. His back straightened. He looked at her like she had just handed him a loaded gun. "There it is," he said. "On camera, maybe?" Anna didn't blink. "You think I didn't know you were recording me, Dmitri? That's your move, not mine." He reached into his coat. My heart spiked. But he didn't pull out a weapon. He pulled out a USB drive. "Tape for tape," he said. "Let's trade truths. You tell yours, I'll tell mine." Anna tilted her head. "What's on it?" "Something your new husband might want to hear." That's when I heard the word. She said it quietly, like a sigh. "River." I ran. I sprinted out of the neighbor's house, across the lawn, and burst through the front door. Dmitri had grabbed her wrist. She wasn't hurt yet, but she wasn't safe either. He turned when I entered. "So," he said, smiling faintly. "The husband does listen." I didn't say a word. Just lifted my phone, showed him the recording screen, and said, "We got everything." His smile didn't falter. "Do you think this ends with a YouTube video?" "I think it ends with the truth." He didn't move. Just looked at Anna. "You'd rather be a widow than a wife." "I'd rather be free," she said. He dropped her wrist, walked to the door, paused. Then he said, "This isn't over. You think you've won, but all you've done is take off the mask. Now you'll see what I really am." Then he walked out. The silence afterward was deafening. Anna fell into a chair and covered her face. I wanted to tell her it was over, that we'd won. But I couldn't. Not yet. Because something about the way he said it made me wonder what we'd really uncovered, and what he still had left to show us. The police took the footage seriously this time. Between the recorded threats, the physical contact, and the years of letters and voicemails, they opened a formal investigation. We handed over everything. Every envelope, every USB, every word. They said it would take time, but they believed there was enough for a restraining order, maybe even a stalking and harassment case. But Dmitri vanished. The address I'd visited? Vacant. Not a trace of him left. No fingerprints. No neighbors had even seen him. He'd been living like a ghost. Anna changed the locks. We installed cameras, motion sensors. She barely left the house, and when she did, she flinched at every stranger. I'd never seen her like that, small, like she'd been peeled open. She slept in the guest room, said she couldn't be around me until things were safe again. That stung more than I'd expected, because deep down, I was still angry. Angry that she kept so much from me. Angry that I had to meet her monster before she told me he existed. And most of all, angry that he was still out there. I started going through his USB. I couldn't help myself. I had to know what he meant when he said, something your husband might want to hear. There were dozens of files, videos, audio, documents. Most were harmless, just photos of Anna from years ago. But one folder was labeled Volga, 2014. Inside was a single video. Grainy. Night vision. A car rolling slowly down a dirt path toward what looked like a riverbank. You couldn't see who was behind the wheel, but a woman's voice was audible. Get in the trunk. You're drunk. You're not driving. Then a man's voice, slurred and angry. Something in Russian I didn't understand. Then a sharp scream. Metal clanging. Silence. Then movement. The car began to roll, and a shadow darted from the frame. I watched it 3 times. Then I realized what made my stomach turn. The voice. It was Anna's. But the scream? That didn't sound like fear. It sounded like satisfaction. I didn't know what to believe anymore. That night, I confronted her. I watched the river video. Her face drained of color. And I don't know what to make of it. She didn't defend herself. Just sat down slowly, like her legs couldn't hold her anymore. You think I enjoyed it, she whispered. I don't know what I think. I told you the truth. As much as I could. But maybe part of me did enjoy it. That doesn't mean I was lying about what he did. I stayed silent. Then she added, if I told you everything from the start, you would have seen me differently. I see you differently now. We both knew something had cracked. The next morning, the police called. Dmitri had been arrested. He broke into a farmhouse 2 towns over. Tried to steal a car. He was caught on a Ring camera, rambling to himself, bleeding from the hand. They picked him up just after dawn. But that wasn't the real surprise. The real surprise came when they searched his car. Inside the trunk, a rolled-up plastic sheet, rope, photos of me and Anna sleeping, and an unregistered pistol. They said it was enough to charge him, enough to keep him locked up. But Anna didn't look relieved. She looked haunted, like she knew something I didn't. And later that night, when I asked her what was wrong, she finally told me. There's something I never told anyone, she whispered. When he locked me in that trunk 10 years ago, he said something before he passed out. What did he say? She looked at me, voice shaking. He said, I'm not the only one watching you. I wanted to believe it was over. That Dmitri being arrested meant the nightmare was finished. That we could finally sleep with both eyes closed, stop checking windows, stop flinching when the doorbell rang. But Anna's last words haunted me. I'm not the only one watching you. At first, I assumed it was just more of his mind games. A final bluff from a man who lost. But Anna wasn't so sure. She said Dmitri had connections, people from his old life. Corrupt cops, ex-military friends, men who owed him favors. And if even one of them was still out there. So I started watching everything. I checked our security system hourly, changed passwords, got a VPN, called in sick to work just to stay home and sit by the window like a guard dog. A week passed. Then 2. No signs. No strange cars. No letters. Then one night, I woke up around 2:30 a.m. to find Anna gone from her room. I found her in the garage, just standing there, staring at the shelves. She didn't notice me at first. Anna, I whispered. She turned slowly. Her face was pale, but her eyes were dry. I found something, she said. She handed me a small envelope. No postage, no address, just our last name, written in perfect block letters. Inside was a single Polaroid photo. It was a picture of our bed. From outside the window, the blinds were slightly open. We were asleep. My arm draped over her. The timestamp on the photo? 3 days ago, after Dmitri's arrest. Maybe he mailed it before, I said. But my voice lacked conviction. Anna shook her head. He never took Polaroids. He hated them. She was right. Every photo Dmitri had collected over the years had been digital. USBs, cloud drives, zoom lenses. Never anything this analog. So who took it? And why? The next morning, we drove to the police station. We showed them the photo, the timestamp, the envelope. The officer looked concerned, but not surprised. We'll look into it, he said. Anna asked if Dmitri could have orchestrated it from jail. Maybe had someone else deliver it. The officer shook his head. He's not in jail anymore. We both froze. What? The officer hesitated, then said, he posted bail yesterday. Private lawyer. Mysterious donor. No one knows who. But he's out. My knees went weak. We drove home in silence. That night, we didn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., the motion light on the front lawn clicked on. We grabbed our phones, pulled up the camera feed. Nothing. Then the back light clicked on. Still nothing. And then a knock. Not on the front door. On the garage. Anna grabbed my arm. Don't answer. We waited. Another knock. Louder this time. I was about to call the police when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Check the box. Same place. I ran outside before Anna could stop me. In the garage, near the shelves, was the wooden box. The one Dmitri had given her. Inside, another Polaroid. This time, it was Anna. She was at the sink, washing dishes. The photo was taken from inside the house. That meant whoever took it had been inside. I turned around fast, but the garage was empty. Anna was at the door, tears in her eyes. I showed her the photo. And then, for the first time since this all began, she collapsed. She cried until she couldn't breathe. And all I could do was hold her, knowing that whatever was happening now, whoever was behind it, it wasn't over. We moved 2 days later. Disappeared. New phones. No social media. No contact with her family. We vanished the way people only do when they have something to run from. I don't know where Dmitri is now. I don't know who helped him. I don't even know if the person who took those Polaroids is someone we know or someone worse. But I do know this. When someone comes back from the dead, they don't always come back alone.